Hey guys, Crypto Dad here again. Thanks for joining me on the Saturday night live stream, live from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. We'll talk about Bitcoin. We'll talk about the news. We'll talk about altcoins. I'm going to move some crypto around for you guys. And as always, I'm going to do my best to get to your questions and see if we can't solve your problems here on the live stream. So once again, thanks for joining me. I've got the rig back here and my little man cave set out. I think I've got all the lights and cameras set up appropriately for our fun tonight. So let me jump over into the chat window and say hello to everyone that's here tonight. Let's see who we have here. Kenny was here early. Andreas Ebert is here. Thanks for being here. Said he's going to be on holiday for the next 3 weeks, so he'll be in the live stream. That's fun. Looking forward to that. Ashfral Mondal was here early. Thanks for being here. Amsterdam Holland is here. He's got a little question about MetaMask and a particular signing technique, which I'll cover first. I was just looking at that a minute ago, so I'll cover that for you. I don't know about Theta, but we can talk a little bit about Theta. Let's see. Let's jump that in because I do have a little bit of Theta that I bought a while back. And let's see who else is here. Marco PT is here. Simon is here. Let's see. Kenny's here. Mr. Miskey, hello. Gregory Weehan, thanks for being here. Looking forward to working with you guys tonight. E. Poston from Colorado, thanks. Welcome back. Asil is here tonight. P. Wizzle from Quincy, Massachusetts. Mike 91097. Is there a burn mechanism for the bad idea AI meme coin? Don't know anything about that coin. I haven't heard about it. Let's see. Overtaxed. I'm at work right now, but I'll do my best to hang with the show. Cool. And so, yeah, welcome everybody. I can't get this thing to go away. I mean, how do I get that to go away? Doggone it. Anywho, what do you do? Oops. There. Hey, I did it. It was like there was a little emoji thing down there. So for those of you who have never been in the live stream before, we will be covering several topics tonight. I've got the news stories first. We're going to do a little discussion, and I think my eye went away there with my cut and paste. There we go. We'll talk a little bit about NFTs tonight, and I've got an agenda of things I'd like to talk about. I've got some news stories that we're going to cover tonight, several news stories, so I won't spend too much time on each story, but we'll try to get through them. I wanted to address that question from Andreas. First off, if you go into your Metamask wallet, and I've got my Metamask wallet here. There we go. And if you're in your Metamask wallet and you go over into the settings and then you go to advanced, if you scroll down here to the very bottom, there's this little thing here that says ETH sign requests, and it's off by default. And he was wondering about that. The first thing that occurred to me when I found this setting was, well, if it's off by default, it's probably a good idea to just leave it that way. Why poke a hornet's nest? And but I Googled the term, and there is a MetaMask support document, and I'll copy that into the live stream if you're interested in that little document. It's basically an older method for signing transactions, which kind of gives, what do they call it, arbitrary access or unspecified access. And so it's a method used by scammers generally because it can allow them to get kind of more advanced access to your wallet when you sign this and allow that to go through. Why is it disabled by default? They kind of explain that here. Should you turn it on? And the first thing is, if someone is asking you to turn it on, it's probably not a good idea. They might be a scammer trying to get access to your wallet through this method. And then they say, well, why don't we just remove it altogether? Because it would make some DApps and websites unusable. So if you don't need it, don't turn it on. If you use an old DApp or a DEX that you've used for many years, and when you upgraded Metamask, it suddenly became unusable because this was off by default, you might want to do a little bit of research and determine for yourself whether you really want to continue to use that DApp or DEX, because it's not really a very secure method of signing transactions. It doesn't give you a whole lot of information. And so probably if you don't need it, don't use it. I guess that's the upshot there. I hope that answered your question. Let's go ahead and jump into the news. The first news is a market-related news story. Bitcoin holding above 26K is remarkable. That's a quote. As equities take a hit, what's next for BTC's price? So we got the 200-week and 200-day moving averages converge at 27.8, acting as an obstacle to further BTC price gains. Dan would know more about that chart stuff than I would. BTC is held firmly above the 26,000 level this week, despite sharp sell-offs in equity markets and the surging U.S. dollar. A victory of sorts, given the bearish signals that those other moves could have portended. The largest crypto asset by market capitalization changed hands Friday afternoon at around $26,500, slightly up 0.3% since the start of the week. Meanwhile, the benchmarks for U.S. stocks in the S&P 500 and the tech-heavy NASDAQ Composite index plunged 2.7% and 3.2% respectively. Into the block. Into the block is, I thought it was kind of some news organization, but apparently Into the block is kind of an aggregator for data, which you can use to kind of look at trends in blockchains. And you need an account really to get more analytics. But I thought I had looked into that thinking that was the article, the source article, but it's basically just some data that the author of the news article was getting. So if you're interested in that, I'll put a link to that down in the description below. It's kind of an interesting service there. Chippy, thanks for being here. Good to have you back again. So that's pretty much it. The Bitcoin market seems to be shrugging off its correlation with the broader markets, which I kind of like. It was kind of disheartening over the course of 2022 and 2023 that the broader markets tended to be pulling down the crypto markets with them as the Fed raised rates. In fact, I made a prediction here a couple weeks ago or last week, I'm not sure exactly, when we were talking about the Fed and their rates, and my prediction was that the Fed had pretty much raised rates as much as it could. And so at the next meeting, it would do nothing as far as actually raising or lowering rates, and then continue to jawbone and try to affect markets simply by jawboning. And that's exactly what they did. They left rates unchanged, but then whatever speech they gave was hawkish, saying that they might need to raise them again before the end of this year. But in essence, they did nothing. And so I was right about that. Yay. Big kudos for Rex and his prediction of the lying Fed, whatever. So yes, the Fed left rates unchanged, but left a lot of uncertainty, and so there should be some volatility in the broader markets due to that. But remarkably, Bitcoin held firm, so that's good. The SEC is not done with the crypto market yet. SEC crypto enforcement chief warns more charges coming to exchanges and DeFi. Well, a lot of these DeFi companies are out of the reach of the SEC, but because they cater to U.S. customers or allow U.S. customers, I guess the Fed feels they can go after them to a certain extent. So, but that's basically the message the Fed is giving, that, hey, we're not done. We're going to do some more enforcement actions on cryptocurrency exchanges, centralized and decentralized. David Hirsch acknowledged that the agency's current litigation load is heavy and the SEC can't go after everything. Okay. But they're not done chasing down crypto exchanges and decentralized finance projects it sees as violating security laws in the same vein as Coinbase Inc. and Binance. Crypto asset. Oh, David Hirsch is the head of the agency's crypto assets and cyber unit. Now, it's interesting. There's one little aside at the bottom of this article talking about what the SEC used to be and what it is now, to a certain extent. The U.S. securities regulator has previously been accustomed to a relatively sedate approach to enforcement, in which it targets misdeeds at regulated businesses, often large Wall Street firms with extensive legal departments that quickly begin negotiating settlements. All right. Because the charges against digital asset companies routinely threaten their existence, they tend to take the agency to court. So the SEC is not used to having to go to court. They're generally used to just like jawboning at a big company, and then the big company's lawyers will get into a negotiation and some sort of arrangement will be reached, right? The SEC is not used to having to actually go to court. And so their resources are being stretched a little bit thin. So, haha to you, SEC. The crypto firms don't play by your so-called rules, right? The SEC has a finite enforcement budget that is often less than the financial giants it's used to facing. So its bandwidth is limited. But they're going to keep after the crypto firms, or at least they're giving lip service to that, right? So we'll see. Maybe they're on their last legs, just like the Fed is on his last legs. Can't raise interest rates at much more without burning down the entire building, right? Let's see. This is a little bit about, I was wondering what FTT was. I hadn't heard of it in so long. They're talking about FTX's token, which I thought was dead in the water, but apparently it's still being traded somewhere. But Coinbase is considering acquiring FTX Europe, the European arm of the exchange FTX, which went bankrupt in November of 2022. According to the news of Fortune, Coinbase, the largest cryptocurrency exchange in the U.S., is considering purchasing FTX Europe, the European arm of the stock exchange FTX. What the heck does that mean? This isn't a very well-written article. FTX is not a stock exchange. It is a cryptocurrency exchange, unless it's some kind of European stock exchange based on FTX. But Coinbase is considering buying it, mostly because of its crypto. Well, maybe it is a stock exchange if it's more involved in crypto derivatives, right, which are crypto futures. Coinbase tasked a European executive of the exchange with exploring the possibility of acquiring FTX Europe, both immediately after FTX's bankruptcy in 2022 and as recently as September of 2023, according to messages viewed by Fortune. Rumors that Coinbase will acquire FTX Europe have stirred up FTX token, FTT. I still get people asking me how to buy, oh God, I can't even remember that one. Let me see here. Boopity boop boo. Let's go into DeFi. What was that token? Terra Luna. People are still asking me about Terra Luna. I'm like, dude, Terra Luna is dead. Why are you even like thinking about buying that coin? But apparently there are people that are still buying Terra Luna coin because it's the value is so small that you with like $100 you can buy 1 million of them or whatever, and when there's a slight movement you might make some money. But that's really more akin to gambling than investing. So yeah, and I would say the same for the FTT token as well. A serious investor really wouldn't have any business buying it. No, that's just my opinion. And then one of the bigger stories we're covering is about NFTs. And this is an opinion piece about an article written by Rolling Stone. Basically just a clickbait article that got them a lot of views. But is it really accurate? We don't know, right? Well, I mean, it is to a certain extent. Right? Rolling Stone hit the traffic mother lode with an eye-catching post calling the end of non-fungible tokens. The piece, your NFTs are actually, finally, totally worthless, picks up a new study by Diap Gamble, a community of finance experts, and runs with it hard. And it hit a nerve. As of writing, the post is top trending on their website and on Google itself. The term NFTs into your browser, and it appears at the apex of the search results. To be sure, there is plenty of meat here, and the headline isn't completely wrong, at least judged by those loose standards of headline writers. It's sort of true that most NFTs are indeed worthless. The study found that out of a sample of 73,257 NFT collections, 69,795 have a market cap of 0 ETH. That's 95% of the total, which is almost all of them. The study says that 23 million people now hold NFTs with no value, which is certainly tough for those investors. Just 21% of the collections included in the studies can claim full ownership, meaning around 4 out of every 5 collections remains unsold. The writer Miles Klee notes, with buyers becoming more discerning, projects that lack clear use cases, compelling narratives, or genuine artistic value are finding it increasingly difficult to attract attention and sales. But are NFTs really dead, as the post suggests? Not exactly. While trading volume are certainly down, they are not non-existent. Data collected by the block shows that trading reached around 63 million last week. That's a far cry from the 360 million plus weekly volume we saw in February. But it's also not nothing. Plus, there's the 5% of collections that are actually worth something. The post says that the study explains why you don't see people hawking ugly cartoon apes on the internet as much anymore. But Bored Ape NFTs are actually trading respectfully. The average price of a Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT is around $42,000. More important than precise trading dynamics is what the post shows about how the mainstream media tends to work. Publications search for extremes, absolute highs and lows that make for arresting headlines. Just last November, Rolling Stone put out a headline saying the NFT bubble has burst, but the value for creators is just heating up. Last summer, it loudly touted its own tie-up with one of the most famous NFT collections around, the Bored Ape Yacht Club. This is a rare chance for the public to take home a piece of art from BAYC with Rolling Stone's stamp of approval. The promo piece said, now Rolling Stone has an opposite sort of message, similarly filled with hyperbole. Anyone who has covered crypto for a while has seen this movie many times before. Bitcoin has been written off countless times, yet it's still trundling out blocks. It has millions of followers, and the price is now 26,000K plus, which again isn't nothing. Of course, there have been highs and lows, but the idea that a technology as useful as NFTs is going away entirely is silly. NFTs are a digital wrapper for non-physical and physical items, allowing them to be tracked and traded. That is an idea with wide applicability, and whether it's reflected in art markets or not, right? So yeah, are NFTs dead? I don't know. Throw out your, sorry, I have a cold, so I'm going to struggle through this. I'm at the nasal drip phase, which is one of my most favorite phases of having a cold. Not. But yeah, I'll try to hang in there with you guys. Scott, thanks for being here. Joanne L., nice to have you this week as well. Let's go ahead and move over to the next one. There was an event that occurred in 2021 where Bitcoin had an 87% drop. It didn't last very long, but apparently, according to testimony from an ex-employee, it was at Alameda that was responsible for this. An ex-Alameda employee claims a trader at the firm punched in a wrong decimal, which led to Bitcoin's 87% drop on Binance US in 2021. I kind of remember this. Disgraced trading firm Alameda Research was behind the hiccup that caused Bitcoin prices to temporarily drop over 87%. As previously reported, Bitcoin prices fell from around 65,760 to as low as 8,200 at 11:30 or 7:30 a.m. ET, Eastern Standard Time, then quickly bounced back up to almost exactly where it was before. A Binance US spokesperson told CoinDesk at the time that the crash was due to a bug in the trading systems of one of their institutional traders. The actual identity of the investor remained a mystery so far, but new tweets from a former Alameda Research employee reveals that the trading firm may have been the cause of the ruckus. So they were punching in a manual trade. Barwaji, where's his full name? Okay, I guess that's all they have. Bardwaj claims that while most of Alameda trades were executed using algorithms, there were times when traders could manually send orders during times of market volatility or take advantage of a profit opportunity, and this is why the apparent mishap took place. The trader was trying to sell a block of BTC in response to the news and sent out the order via our manual trading system. What they missed was the decimal point was off by a few spaces. Rather than selling BTC at the current market price, they sold it for pennies on the dollar. Arbitrage traders quickly took advantage of the mispricing and restored Bitcoin to normal levels. Alameda, however, lost millions of dollars. Alameda losses on the fat finger trade were staggering, on the order of tens of millions, but because it had been an honest mistake, there wasn't much to do except to implement additional sanity checks for manual trades. Interesting. I hear something. Oh my gosh, Kitty's here. What are you doing, Cat? You've been inside all day. Oh, he probably wants to go back outside. Right. Oh, kitty. I'll wait till he jumps up here. Let's see. And then I wanted to cover this story. It's kind of an interesting story. Citi token services, which I wasn't aware of, will provide payments liquidity to institutional customers. The new blockchain-based service will use tokenized deposits for trading and liquidity service after 2 pilots. Citigroup has introduced Citi Token Services, a private permissioned blockchain that offers cross-border payments, liquidity, and automated trade finance solutions to institutional clients. So only for institutional clients. The new services will integrate tokenized deposits and smart contracts into Citi's global network. Citi Treasury and Trade Solutions, TTS, which has a banking license in over 90 countries, has completed 2 pilots of the service. It worked with Danish shipping company Maersk, and an unnamed canal authority on a program that made instant payments. Okay, so he's here, waiting for me to do something. I think he must want outside. Or maybe he's just going to hang out. We'll see. We'll let him hang out here. Yeah, they're eating dinner upstairs. They don't want to let you out. Not right now. Yeah, so we'll see. Okay, kitty. Uh-oh, he's going to knock my phone over. Is that what your plan is? Oops. Anyway, say hello to Kitty. He's here. All right. So this Citi token is like a cryptocurrency, but not. It's a private blockchain, but they can use it. So the original pilot made instant payments to service providers via smart contracts, reducing transaction processing times from days to minutes. The service replaces bank guarantees and letters of credit, the statement said. A second pilot enabled clients to transfer liquidity between Citi branches around the clock, reducing frictions related to cutoff times and gaps in the service window. TTS Global Head of Digital Assets, Ryan Rugg, said. He continued, our solutions within the Citi network are complemented by inclusive and open industry collaboration on initiatives like the Regulated Liability Network. Ugh. The Regulated Liability Network technology was introduced in November 2022. Citi was among the large financial institutions that participated in a proof of concept headed by the Federal Reserve Bank of New York that concluded in July. RLN infrastructure places assets and liabilities on the same ledger to provide atomic settlement. It is one of the few unified ledger proposals. I can't see Kitty. He's in my way. Okay. Emerged in recent months. The new Citi service uses deposit tokens, which are tokenized commercial bank money. It's kind of interesting. Now, this regulated liability network, I found a PDF about it. Let's see. I don't know if there's... Oh, well, this is the link here. Yeah, it just opens up the... So I guess that's the, I don't know, it just launches an PDF, which goes into, it's kind of interesting. There's a little breakdown here, which I thought looked kind of interesting. It talks about the difference between actual money, which is a, what do they call it? Liability, right? Money is a liability. It's like a promise to pay. So central bank money is a liability of the central bank. It exists in two forms. They're kind of getting into accounting here. We have, I took accounting a long time ago. You have a ledger, with debits and credits, and like money is a liability because it's a promise to pay. There's central bank money, commercial bank money, and then electronic money. And then they have a little breakdown here of public cryptocurrencies and stablecoins, which are not sovereign currency, not liability instruments, and unregulated issuers, token-based representation. So they're sort of looking down on cryptocurrencies as not being like, real money, where in reality, I mean, the argument can be made that central bank money and commercial bank money are basically just debt-based money that gets created out of thin air, whereas cryptocurrencies are real assets that were created on blockchains. So, but anyway, that link is in this article, which I have linked down below. If you're not aware, if you look in the description, you can see we've got all kinds of links to our news stories. So if you want to check out that little PDF, you can find a link to it in that news story about Citibank. And then I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this, but I found a pretty interesting article that went into a lot of details about the Stacks delay, which I think we talked about 2 weeks ago. And it talked about the company known as Plastic Logic, which is a German company that was tasked with creating the screen. And this was the brainchild of Tony Fadell, who was the inventor of the one of the co-inventors of the original iPod, and Let's see here. Hey, Asil, thanks for that. I appreciate that. Let's see here. Basically the problem with the Ledger stacks is that it's based on e-ink technology that mimics the appearance of ink, and that was the main issue with the Ledger stacks delay. They were tasked with creating this e-ink technology screen, and out of 100 screens coming off the production line, only 35% met the specifications set with Ledger. That's far too few to ensure continuous deliveries. A source close to the company that is placing a lot on this new product. So several options were on the table, from Ledger taking over supervision of the production in place, or changing the screen technology to OLED. This type of screen is found on most smartphones, but they consume much more energy. So basically, it was this new e-ink technology that they, the idea is that it was a screen technology that had low energy output, so it didn't need a lot of power like a smartphone does, and that was pretty much everything that the Ledger Stacks was relying upon, was this low energy e-ink screen, and this German manufacturer Plastic Logic could not deliver to the specifications. And it was kind of Tony Fadell's idea to use Plastic Logic, so two bad ideas from Ledger. The e-ink technology that they wanted to create at scale, and then their Ledger recovery service. So have a lot of bad decisions by this company. But I thought you might be interested in a more detailed breakdown of the stacks delay. All right, so that's it for the news. Let's turn off these, or let's close these tabs here. Boop-a-doo-boo. Yeah, we'll close that. And we'll talk about some cryptocurrency exchanges. And all right, so I'm not seeing a whole lot of discussion on the NFT. Let's see, Kitty jumped off and left. He went off to greener pastures. Pardon me. Yeah, Kitty's not on the desk anymore. I wanted to... my view on NFTs, and I don't have that story open anymore, of course. My view on NFTs. When I first encountered NFTs and the technology, by the way, the technology, I totally believe in the technology of having a digital asset that is blockchain based, that can be transferred and traded and retain information like who created it and that sort of thing. I think that's wonderful technology, but the NFT market kind of got out of hand with speculation. I think there were a lot of legitimate NFT collections. There were a lot of shady NFT collections. There were a lot of companies that were creating NFT collections and kind of hyping them, kind of pump and dumping them, and doing what's called a rug pull. I hear that term a lot, rug pull. I think somebody on Reddit said that Ledger was doing a rug pull on their stacks. That's not really, I think the term has taken on a lot of extra meaning that is really not precise. A rug pull, that term came about with usually a DEX or some kind of crypto project, and then they pumped up their project by media and news articles and whatnot. And then all the developers of the project kind of disappeared and took the proceeds with them, whatever wallets were part of the project. And then they sold off their tokens. And basically just abandon the project. That's the most precise definition of a rug pull. It doesn't just mean it's not synonymous with the term scam. Only a lot of people are making it that way when they talk about a rug pull. But there were a lot of NFT projects that had their own version of rug pull, and in that situation, there would be a group on, say, what is that crazy Discord. There were a lot of Discord groups where they would say, okay, we're going to release a new NFT collection. You can mint them, and they would give links, and they would say, if you buy this, we're going to continue to like add new functionality and features as time goes by, and they would get people kind of sucked into their project. And then after the first sale, when people had bought in, they minted the NFTs, the developers behind the project would sell their NFTs while the price was really high, and then just sort of stop making posts in their Discord group, right? They basically just stopped pumping after the first sale, and they came off with a pretty decent return on their investment because they sold their NFTs while they were high, leaving the investors kind of holding the bag. And of course, if the developers of the NFT project weren't going to continue to enhance their project, then the NFTs ended up kind of being worthless to an extent. And as I was going to say, when I first got into NFTs, I thought that it was sort of like a bottle of wine, like a vintage bottle of wine. I could buy an NFT and hold on to it for years. And then somewhere down the road, I could sell it and it would be worth a lot more because it was vintage, so-called. Well, as it turns out, that's really not the way NFTs came around. It got to a point where you really had to do a lot of research to figure out which NFTs were going to be worth something and which ones weren't. And they were always kind of flash in the pan. They always had to do with, were they hot? Were they fashionable? So if you were smart enough to get into an NFT, buy an NFT, and then sell an NFT while it was still valuable, or if its value went up, great. But it's not like you just buy one and hang on to it indefinitely. Right? They were very fragile and very fleeting. Their value was very fragile and fleeting. Now, as this opinion article pointed out, the larger NFT projects like Bored Ape are still worth something, but not anywhere near what they were at the height of the NFT craze. And then you also have to remember that the broader crypto market is way down from its highs of 2021 as well. Bitcoin is way off its highs, and but it's still around. But there are a lot of altcoins that are like just really way off their highs and haven't really recovered much. We mentioned those last week when we were talking about the little pump that Bitcoin had last week. And so considering the market value of the entire crypto market, NFTs are also down quite a bit. So, but as I mentioned, an NFT, it's very, personally, I don't think NFTs come back so much after they lose a lot of their value. Like Bored Apes might, right? The Bored Apes might come back in value and become valuable again. But there are a lot of fly-by-night NFT projects that will probably never come back, as well as a lot of altcoins that will never come back. So you can't really blame the NFT market so much. And you also have to remember that there were a lot of big events that contributed to the downfall of the crypto market, the collapse of FTXF, the FTX, the collapse of the Terra Luna project. And I see a lot of these as direct attacks on the cryptocurrency market. Terra Luna had their own stablecoin, and there were very deep-pocketed entities that went after, bought a bunch of Terra Luna NFT or stablecoins and dumped them on the market, which preceded the collapse of the entire project. And I believe that was intentional. And then the FTX thing was, I guess, big pockets coming after the crypto market, coming up with this new centralized exchange, and they were flying fast and furious with people's money, and it eventually came crashing down. So there were a lot of inadvertent and deliberate attacks on the crypto market. So you can't really blame crypto. And then, of course, we had the Fed raising rates and the SEC coming after crypto with a vengeance. All these are contributing to, the broader crypto market's market value as it stands, right? So I'm not sure, it's obvious that the powers that be have it out for the crypto community. And then so they came in right when they felt it was time to pop the bubble, right? If the bubble wasn't going to pop on its own, the powers that be gave it a little help, right? So yeah, I don't think NFTs are dead. The technology is definitely not dead, but maybe NFTs in their current art form might, a lot of them might not recover, right? That's just my 2 cents worth. Dan is here. Good. Less than 31,000 blocks before the halving. Good, Dan. Thanks for talking about the Bitcoin halving, which is coming up early next year. March or April of next year should be the next Bitcoin halving. Any advice for anyone starting a YouTube channel? Don't. Thanks for asking that question, Chippy. That's usually not the subject matter of this live stream. We tend to stick more with crypto. But I will have to just point out that YouTube has changed quite a bit since I started this channel. YouTube used to be kind of a place for hobbyists. Any man could stake out a claim in the YouTube and come up with a niche, and my niche was crypto education. It could be a hardware, it could be plumbing, it could be fixing old TVs, plant care, that kind of stuff. So there were there was a big diverse YouTube community. And unfortunately, YouTube has become more of a mass market, kind of a network. They're in the game, coming up against the TV networks, the streaming networks, and YouTube is kind of focusing on getting more eyeballs, and so there's a lot less of the everyman. I'm going to show you how to fix your refrigerator. It's more about celebrities and frivolous kind of stuff, and movies and that kind of stuff. So the little guy is kind of getting pushed out of the YouTube game. It's still possible to get a YouTube channel. And then also TikTok that came along and stole eyeballs from YouTube. And so YouTube has their shorts now. It's sort of taking away eyeballs from channels like mine, which are what you would call full format videos. And so it's really, it's a lot harder to make a living or to be, have a presence on YouTube, not just because of those macro factors that I talked about, but also just because there are a lot more people now. You can start a YouTube channel on your phone if you want to. So, or just a simple webcam. So there's a lot more YouTube content getting uploaded every day. So it's not the same game as it was for me when I started. I just wanted to point that out. So yeah, I don't know if you're into YouTube, wanting to start your own channel. That's great. It's really easy to create and post videos on YouTube. It's a lot easier than it used to be. It used to be kind of hard because there wasn't a whole lot of bandwidth when I was uploading videos. Now there's quite a bit of bandwidth out there. But yeah, it's a very crowded field for creators, and the battle for eyeballs is taking place at a much higher level, and there's a lot more money behind it than there used to be. So best of luck to you if you want to create your own YouTube. Kenny's getting giddy at the anticipation of the beginning of the bull market run up to the halving and the subsequent months of the bull run. Well, let's hope we see a bull run. I mean, the last couple of years have really shown us that if the powers that be want to take a run at crypto, they can be relentless, right? So hopefully crypto will prevail. I've always believed in it myself. Okay, so let's jump into some demos for you guys. I don't see a whole lot of activity, questions being asked. Amsterdam Harlem, I still believe in first minute NFTs are like the first printer baseball cards. Yeah, I would hope so. But I have a bunch of those NFTs and they're basically worthless. All right, I'm going to try to trudge along here. Let's see. Don't forget, you can you can go to my Amazon page and buy computer components that I recommend. And then I also have some wallet recommendations on my Amazon page. If you look here on my CryptoDad Amazon page, I've got a bunch of hardware wallet recommendations that you can check out as well. So be sure and head over there if you're interested in any of that stuff. And let's see, what do we got here? Oh, Theta. So someone had mentioned Theta. It's been a long time since I've jumped into my Theta wallet. So let's go ahead and I'll connect my Ledger device because I do have Theta on my Ledger device. Theta is not compatible with Ledger Live, so you have to use third-party Theta Wallet for it. I'm going to go ahead and get my PIN entered here. I get that. And almost done. And there we go. All right. So let's see what we got here on the old camera. So you can see my Ledger device. The Canon Rebel. Oh, that's good. Let's just bring it in here. There we go. All right, so for Theta, there is no Theta app. You have to use the and I always get Theta and some other Thor. I always get Theta and not Thor, whatever it is, the other crypto. So you have to be in the Ethereum app, if I recall. Right. And then let's go over to the Theta wallet. There it is. So if you store Theta or you send Theta from an exchange to your Ethereum wallet, it's not going to show up. So let's see. Let's take a look at this Ethereum wallet here, Ethereum H. If we look at the receiving address of this, you can see it here. It ends in 478BD, right? That's my Ethereum wallet. But let's take a look at this Theta wallet over here. So how am I going to connect to my Theta wallet? I'm going to use, now you could create a key store or a mnemonic and paste it in every time, or even a private key, which is kind of a really long number. It's not very a good recommended method of accessing your Theta assets. I like to use my hardware device. I'll choose Ledger, and they tell you that you have to open the Ethereum app, And you have to make sure you have the right derivation path. I'm using the Ledger Live one, which is M4460, well, I don't know, whatever. You got to use this one. I'll hit connect. It's going to read my ledger. And notice that there is some Theta stored here. And notice that that address here, this address, my Theta address, is the same one that we have over here in my Ethereum wallet. But Theta does not show up as a token in my wallet. Now, it's confusing because Theta used to be an ERC20 token, and then it migrated over to its own chain. So a lot of people were still like transferring Theta into their Ethereum wallet, and they weren't finding it, right? It would not show up in your Ethereum wallet. So you have to use the Theta Wallet. It's a third-party web-based wallet. As far as I know, they might have a phone-based wallet for Theta. I'm not sure, but I'll paste that address there. That's the web-based Theta wallet. So as you can see, I can view my balance here. I've got 393 Theta and a bunch of their T fuel. Let's see, how much is that worth? Just curious. Where is that? Huh, okay. Yeah. Prices. Here, right in front of me. Just not looking at it. All right, so Theta. Whoops. So yeah, there's Theta. And I don't know, I had like 300 of it. Well, is that right? 393 Theta. 393. Oh. All right, so it's worth about $250, which is not bad. I seem to remember I bought it so long ago. And I think I bought $50 worth. And so it's nice to see that something that I bought a really long time ago is still around. And then we bought some back and forth. Yeah. T-Fuel, I don't know if T-Fuel is worth anything. T-Fuel. Yeah, Theta Fuel. That was like the big promise. How much do I have of that? 4,000. Whoops. That's worth $140. That's not bad. Nothing to sneeze at. So, kind of cool. What about the new Tangem wallet? It seems will include seed phrase recovery. Yes, I think I saw an article about Tangem. An announcement that, let's see if we can find news. I could have sworn I saw a little article that said that they were coming out with a new version of their Tangem wallet, an upgraded version. So, yeah, I'm not sure if it's, I think, before the end of the year. So that would be interesting if Tangem does add that functionality of being able to back up the seed. For those of you who are not familiar, Tangem is a cryptocurrency hardware wallet that consists of the, let's turn off my ledger here for the moment. We're not using that. It consists of a card and the Tangem app. And we can play around with a little bit. But basically, when you buy a Tangem wallet, you can buy a 3-card set or a 2-card set. And as it works now, you never see the private key, which is an advantage in that you don't have to fool around with it. You don't have to write it down. You don't have to worry about it. And it's impossible to inadvertently reveal it to a scammer or a hacker. or to lose it. Say you write it down and misplace it, right? The Tangem cards are the private keys, but by extension, if you lose all 3 cards, you lose your crypto. But it's not really asking a lot for you to keep track of your Tangem card, right? People manage to keep track of their phones and their gold coins, so why not keep track of a Tangem card? But a lot of people have said that, oh, I want to be able to write down the phrase. It's not real crypto if I can't manage my own seed phrase. I think it's a very unique approach. I think it's a great approach, actually. Simplifies the process of setting up and viewing your wallet, and minimizes some of the risks that people have. Okay, so they got a new one. Okay. Oh, it says it right here. So they have the new Tangem wallet that has an optional seed phrase, October 5th, right? And you can pre-order it now. So that sort of addresses the concerns of the crypto community that were upset that they couldn't write down and manage their own seed phrase, that they had to rely completely on these 2 or 3 cards. Now it looks like you will be able to write down a seed phrase and make as many copies of it as you want and store it like you would store a normal seed phrase to a traditional hardware wallet. So that's pretty exciting. I'm glad you brought that up. When will Ledger Stacks be shipping? There is no shipping date. Ledger Stacks, I talked about, if you're just coming into this discussion, I did talk about the Ledger Stacks delay. I don't think I put it in here. Yeah, I did. So the only thing this article was talking about was exactly why there was a delay. Ledger gave an update 2 weeks ago, trying to explain that they're still trying to work on it, but they have given no shipping date. Unfortunately, can't help you with that. So yeah, I'll talk to Tangem. Hopefully they can shoot me out one of their new wallets here, and I'll be able to do an updated demo on Tangem. We'll play around with Tangem a little tonight. Why don't we? While we're on the subject, let's say that we have some assets in our Tangem wallet. So let's go over here. Whoops. Oh, the cat. Oh, man. So the cat must have hit that cable and jilted that camera. Sorry, I'm kind of struggling through this little cold that I've got here. But this is my setup here. I've got my monitors and my cams and my rig over here and my alternate third monitor over there, which I use to play games. But I've got like the Canon camera here, and I've got this Razer camera here pointed down so that we can work over here and on some alternate wallets that do better when I've got a camera coming down from above. So let's play around with this Tangem wallet. Let's see. Let's go over here to this. And you can see I've got my little table here. And if we go into the Tangem wallet, you can see that we can manage our assets here. Now, I had someone asking me about Ngrave, and they were concerned about how do I get crypto in to the wallet? What do I need to do on my device to get crypto into the wallet? And the answer is nothing. And the same goes for Tangem. The card does not need to be involved if you're simply putting crypto into the wallet, right? There's no restriction on a hardware wallet to stop crypto from coming in, right? And there doesn't need any kind of authorization to get crypto in. So for instance, if I wanted to put some Bitcoin into my Tangem wallet, then all I really have to do is get the address of this wallet. And why don't we do that? Let's share the address. I'll share it with myself. And we'll throw a little Bitcoin into the Tangem wallet just for fun here. But the first thing I'll do, and then I also wanted to show you that there are some There is some swap functionality in Tangem Wallet, which is kind of cool. I could swap for Tether over here, or I could swap for other Matic type tokens within the Tangem Wallet, which is pretty cool. And I believe you can do the same thing on the Ethereum network. You have swap, buy, sell functionality. The buy and sell mean that you have to sign up for a third-party payment processor. And I believe their processor is, should come up here shortly, Mercurio, right? So you would have to get validated and signed up for this payment service to do that. So there's a lot of functionality in Tangem, but I just wanted to show you, I've got some Tether-based, I've got some Tron-based Tether in this wallet, which I can't swap. It would be cool if I could. I can't swap it from within the wallet. So how do I deal with an alternate chain Tether product? Well, in this case, what I want to do with this is I want to send it over to an exchange that can deal with Tron-based Tether. Now, Coinbase won't, but Binance US will. And I think I did. All right, thanks, Dan. Looks like I did it again, huh?
You did it again.
How long was I out?
Only a few seconds.
Oh, good. Yay, thanks, Dan. Appreciate it. I'll see you later. So Dan just called that I bumped my mic and accidentally muted it. Thank you very much, Dan. Let's see here. Let's go back into this. Okay, so we're in the send, and I've got the camera and turned it on. Now I just need to go over here and scan that QR code. Right? Now I have the address of my Binance US account. We go back over here. And so, as you can see, the address is filled in up here. Now all I need to do is send it. Let's see, if I tap in this field, I can send the max, which is $40 worth of Tether. We'll hit send. And I've got to Face ID on the app and authorize the outgoing transaction with my card. So you need to hold the card upside down, or let me show you what I mean here, there. All right. And off it goes. So it's very easy to use the Tangem card. I really like it. It's turning into one of my go-to wallets, right? And with their new one, it's going to be even better, I think. So as you can see, I sent the Tether out. I sent it out there. And we can go over to our Binance US account. I'll put the phone over here. And I'll try not to leave you stuck on that camera. I did that last week or the week before. I was over on that camera, and then when I switched, I forgot to bring the camera over. So, but here we are in Binance US, and it doesn't usually take too long for the Tron to arrive. You can even look here, and it will tell you when when it sees the incoming Tether transfer. The nice thing about that Tron-based Tether is that the fees are really low on that. So very easy to transfer Tron-based Tether back and forth. Pretty cool. There, it's already showing up, right? So we can look in here and we can see that we've got that $40 worth of Tether. Now, let's buy some Bitcoin. Let's buy Bitcoin. We'll trade for Bitcoin, and we'll do Bitcoin US. Whoops, we'll do Bitcoin and US Tether. Now, now that it's in Binance US, it's basically Tether, right? It doesn't matter whether it's Tron based, ERC20 based, Solana based, Polygon based. Once you get it in to Binance US, it works as Tether. Right, so I can use it to trade for Bitcoin. So let's see if we can do that. So I'm going to buy BTC with Tether. I'm going to do a market order. I'll put it all the way up here to 100%. Actually, usually you have to back it off just a tad. 100% doesn't work for some reason. I don't know why. So there we go. We did a market order. So now we should have some Bitcoin. Let's go back over to the wallet. And you can see that there's Bitcoin now. And I have $44 worth of Bitcoin. I don't know how that happened. I think there may have been a little Bitcoin in there already. So let's send this Bitcoin back into the Tangem wallet. So how are we going to do that? Well, let's play around with it a little bit. Ugh, I don't know what that's all about. All right. Okay, so yeah, Dan's like, Dan, help me a lot. Thank you, Dan, for not letting me flail around. Okay, so we want to go back over to Tangem. And here's my Bitcoin address. Now, I'm in Binance US over here, and I would like to transfer from Binance US to my Tangem wallet. So I could share this address with myself and send myself an email with the address. But I've already done that, right? We saw me do that earlier. I could also just copy the address into my phone's clipboard and go over to the Binance US app and do it that way, but I won't. I'll go ahead and do this because I've already sent the email. There's the address that I need. That's my Tangem wallet address. We can even double check that by looking at the Tangem wallet. The address will not change as long as there hasn't been a transaction sent. So it's still the same. Once Bitcoin comes into this wallet, the next time I ask it to generate an address, it will be different. All Bitcoin wallets work that way. Every transfer or address request generates a brand new Bitcoin wallet address until you start, until you send something to that address. So since we haven't sent anything yet, you can see the address has not changed. All right, so let's grab this address. Copy it into our clipboard. Let's go back over to Binance US. Let's go to the Bitcoin that we just bought. Let's do a withdraw. Let's do the max. Let's shave a few decimals off there. It doesn't like too many decimals. And we're going to do it on the Bitcoin network, and then we'll paste in that address from our Tangem wallet. All right, let's preview that. Will it let me withdraw 44? I hope so. Oh, I'm going to hit with $8 Bitcoin withdrawal fee, which is kind of disappointing. I think they have kind of, maybe it's flat. I don't know. This doesn't look like a flat fee, but it is quite a hit to the Bitcoin. So withdrawing your Bitcoin from Binance US, not a great, I guess to mitigate this, you would want to buy a larger amount. Maybe the percentage would be lower for larger amounts. I'm not sure. But out of a $44 worth of Bitcoin, $8.72 worth of Bitcoin is pretty steep, right? I don't think we would get that with Coinbase. Now, how could we get around this? I could simply swap this for Bitcoin. I'm sorry, I could simply swap this for another token like Polygon or Solana, and the trading fee would not be $8, right? And then I could send out maybe over to Coinbase and get I could get pretty much the same amount of Bitcoin, but maybe a smaller withdrawal fee. Maybe we should play with that. Let's try that. Let's try Solana. So we could do, let's trade Solana for Bitcoin. And we're going to buy Solana with our Bitcoin at market, which is not the best way to buy, but we'll do that. What's my fee? I'm not sure. Let's find out. All right. Well, let's just do it, right? All right. So how much Solana did we end up with? $43 worth of Solana. So, right, we didn't, dollar value wise, we really hardly lost anything on that trade. So let's move it over to Coinbase. Let's do deposit. We want to do, come on, Coinbase. What are you doing to me? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. All right. Let's do Sol. Let's deposit Sol. They're going to give me a Sol address here. Only send Sol tokens. So we'll do a withdraw. And how much are they going to charge me for this? Only 19 cents, right? So I'm going to keep the value of that. Much better than the Bitcoin withdrawal fee. I need my Google Authenticator. Let's see. Binance US. All right. I have to confirm that in my email. So I'm going to go over here to my email and I'll confirm that withdrawal. Only problem with all this is that it's going to take a while for the Bitcoin to actually be tradable in Coinbase. That's one of the issues. Oh, I'm sorry. It's Sol. Oh, we should be fine. Sol should show up pretty quick in Coinbase. I did that confirm, right? Oh, maybe I didn't. Oh, I think I did. Whatever. Let's go back and make sure that it's on its way out. Right. So we have 0 available and 43 unavailable because it's on its way to Coinbase. Let's go over here to Coinbase. And hopefully we'll see that solve fairly quickly. Dan waited 1 minute. Was it that long? Oh, no. That's a bummer. I hate when that happens. This friggin' mic. Sorry about that, guys. No sound, no sound, no sound, no sound, no sound. Muted, 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 muted. Doggone it. When I'm like in the middle of something over here, I'm not really looking at the, like when I'm in this format and something happens, I can see right away when people are telling me that the mic is muted. But when I'm over there at my table, I'm not looking at the feed directly like I am when I'm facing this direction. So once again, apologize for that. I hope you guys saw everything that happened. I still hear rumors about backdoor on ledger devices on Reddit. Those people are misinformed. Just because you hear someone saying that Ledger has a backdoor, that is a misconception. I don't really want to get into that right now, but there are more and more sane voices now explaining that that is not a backdoor. That is just another a way for you to process your private key on your Ledger device. You've always been able to do that. When you authorize an outgoing transaction on your Ledger, you must hit both buttons. That's the way the device is designed. The same goes for exporting the private keys to their recover service. You have to hit the buttons for it to happen. Oh, it's not a backdoor. Oh. And you know what really irks me about the whole situation is that someone said it's a backdoor with no documentation or proof of this, and now everyone just parrots it. Like you see all these parrots in cages, backdoor, 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 but they're just hearing it from someone else that said it. So please, PJ Playhouse, take everything you hear on Reddit with a grain of salt. Sorry. You should see the stablecoin fees to transfer. Well, yeah, there's always going to be. Let's see here. Let's see if we can get it. All right. So the SOL is already here, right? Now we can trade the SOL for BTC. I don't believe I can do SOL and BTC. I don't think they have a spot SOL BTC. All right, let's try BTC. Oh, there is a SOL BTC. Yay. All right, so I can sell my SOL for BTC, and it's going to cost me 0.000000009 BTC, not that much. All right, now we can go to portfolio, and we should have, how much BTC do we have? Still about $43 worth of BTC. Now, let's go over and withdraw this to this Tangem wallet address. Here we go. Let's see, Bitcoin withdraw. We want to send it all to that address. How much are they going to charge me? Ooh, not very much, right? Send now. I got to get my two-factor here, which is Coinbase 881. Whoops, that one's expiring. Let's wait. 329 941. Off it goes. Okay, so I lost a couple bucks, but a lot more than I would have had I withdrawn it directly from Coinbase. Now you might say, "Oh my God, look at all those! You swapped Bitcoin to Solana, you moved to Solana, you had all those taxable events." Blah, blah, blah. Well, the taxable events were minuscule, right? Because I wasn't making huge profits on any of those trades. All of that trading occurred within a few minutes, so there were really no big profits or losses to worry about the tax implications. Now, I will have to make sure that I diligently report all of those, and that can easily be done with tax software that connects to my exchanges and my wallets. But I'm not going to be paying a bunch of taxes on those transactions because there were no huge profits on those transactions. We're basically keeping things at the same level. So I did a bunch of stuff, but I saved money, right? I saved money on that withdrawal fee because the Coinbase withdrawal fee was minuscule compared to the Binance US. Binance US was going to charge me about $8 worth of Bitcoin, whereas Coinbase only charged me about $2. Right? Let's take a look over in Tangem. Let's see here. Tangem. Should be getting some Bitcoin into my Tangem wallet pretty soon. Or maybe not that soon. According to Coinbase, it is still pending. Right? Huh. Yeah, it's kind of hard to find. I can see it in regular Coinbase, though. If I go to regular Coinbase and go to my Bitcoin, then I can look at my balance and see that outgoing transaction. And there it is. Sent. Pending. Right? And how much was the network fee? That's a Bitcoin blockchain fee, by the way, which Binance US was sort of passing that cost along to me, but they were, looks like they were charging me a premium. Oops. So the Coinbase withdrawal fee for my Bitcoin was only about $1.63. So we pulled it off by doing a few swaps into a smaller chain, crypto, Solana in this case, which not only has lower fees, but also transfers faster. Nikki Ricky, looks like you're spamming. I wouldn't recommend that. I can't get a hold of you. There you are. I got you. Please don't spam. Bitcoin 3 TPS Solana can do 15,000 TPS transactions per second. Cool. You should see the stablecoin fees to transfer. Oh yeah, this was it. So yeah, I didn't. Stable coins are, if they're ERC20 based stable coins like Tether, ERC20 based, you're going to have higher transfer fees. Yeah, yeah. I don't know how Binance US survives with those high withdrawal fees. Mostly just a trader. Okay. All right, we did it. That was pretty cool. Haven't seen it in Tangem Wallet, but I'll let you know. Oh, no, that's not it. Basically, what I did was swapped my Tether for Bitcoin in Tangem, but I had to go a roundabout way. I had to get out, right? Now I wanted to talk a little bit about the Trezor Suite and some of the things that you can do in Trezor Suite. Trezor Suite is the software, the default software that you can use for your Trezor devices. And I have my Trezor device connected here. One of the things that I thought about the way that Trezor Suite worked is that it would only work if the device was connected. But I was wrong about that. So let's say if we launch Trezor Suite, and there is a device already connected, in this case, it shows me that wallet, right? And the device is connected. But if I were to disconnect it, then when I launch Trezor Suite, I wouldn't normally see the wallet. Still, thank you for that. I appreciate that. Oh, I turned this on. This is the remember, right? Now, if we turn that off and relaunch Trezor Suite, then what you'll get is when you launch Trezor Suite, it'll say, hey, there's no wallets. I don't remember anything. Please attach your device. And that's one way that you can kind of manage your security if you want. If you don't want your roommates or anybody else in the household pulling up your Trezor Suite and seeing what your holdings are, then you can simply have it forget your Trezor every time you disconnect. Now, I just need to enter my PIN. So I'll go ahead and do that. And once I connect the Trezor, and then choose standard. If I wanted to, if I had a passphrase hidden wallet, I could enter the passphrase here, which is much easier than doing it on a ledger, which requires you to enter the passphrase directly on the device, but a little less secure because you are typing your passphrase into your computer. So you want to make sure that you don't have any malware on your computer when you're typing in your passphrase, but it is convenient. But if we just open the standard wallet, it's going to read the device and show you the contents of the private keys, or I'm sorry, show you whatever contents you have being managed by this device. And as I showed you in a kind of roundabout way, you can actually tell it to remember the wallet so that when the wallet is disconnected, hidden away in a drawer, you can still check your portfolio value because this will change depending on the current price of the assets that you have stored on the device, which is pretty cool. Another thing that I think is kind of fun with the Trezor is that I have another Trezor over here. Let's go ahead and connect that one. I'll connect it with a different cable. I'll enter my PIN. And last two. All right. Okay, so that came up. And now, notice when I pull this down, I've got two Trezors connected. Huh. Okay. I thought that both of these worked. Huh. Oh, there's standard wallet. Why isn't it not showing me the wallet here? Did I wipe this thing? I don't think I did. Ah, okay, there. It popped up. Okay. Standard wallet. Now it's reading it. So what's cool about Trezor Suite is I can connect two devices in Trezor Suite, and Trezor Suite has a pretty cool way of like managing them and keeping them separate. I can just toggle back and forth between devices once it gets fully read in there. So now I can just switch between the wallets, right? I've got this standard wallet. Of course, they're both named the same thing. And this standard wallet, right? So it might behoove you to rename the device so that you keep them separate, right? Let's see where do we do that? Device. Where's the name? Here. Okay, we can edit name. We can call this one Trezor 1. I need to allow this on my device, which is not in my hand, but over here. Let's see. Let's do this. All right. See, it wants me to authorize that. Change the name. Oops. Let's go ahead and turn this one off. Come back over here. So, and then I could do the same thing with the other Trezor. I could go over to the device here and do device name and call this one Trezor 2. And I'll have to authorize that on this guy. All right. And now, so we got Trezor 1 and Trezor 2. Pretty cool. And you switch back and forth between the wallets, right? So there's a nice separation between devices. You can manage more than one device in Trezor Suite, and it kind of keeps them organized for you in this manner, right? You can even add hidden wallets if you have passphrases on either of those devices and access those. Ledger can do the same thing. The problem with Ledger is that you kind of have to keep track of it yourself and name the accounts accordingly so that you don't get them mixed up. Like these two Bitcoin accounts are based on my Ledger Nano S Plus. You know, I've got several accounts here, but it's just not as cut and dried as far as organizing between two devices. In other words, I could have multiple devices represented in this copy of Ledger Live. I would just connect the device and add an account. I just need to name them so I don't get confused. Now, Ledger won't get confused, right? If you try to access crypto from a device that's not connected, it'll tell you there's a problem, right? It'll know that the proper device isn't attached. But it's not very clear and organized just on the surface of it, which account goes to which device. Unless, of course, I name them accordingly myself. I like the Trezor way where I can just switch between the devices and the wallets, right? And just manage it that way. I think that's kind of cool. All right, now I think last week I was talking about maybe moving some Litecoin from one device to another, and I was thinking about moving some Litecoin from my device, my Trezor device, to my son's Ledger device. So let's do that. Let's do a Trezor to Ledger transfer. So the first thing we'll need to do is get out Alex's Ledger device. Let's go here. All right, so this is Alex's Ledger. Got his name on it. Just take it out of the box. And I want to put some Litecoin in here. Now, I don't have to set up a brand new copy of Ledger Live to do this. I can simply connect Alex's device and set up a Litecoin account in this copy of Ledger Live. So I'll go ahead and connect his device. I'll enter his PIN. All right. And let's take a look over here. Yeah, it has to be here. You can see that he doesn't have Litecoin on here yet. So we can fix that. Now that I have Alex's device attached, I can go to Add Account and say I want to add Litecoin. And hit Continue. And it's going to check. Okay, it just found out that there's no Litecoin app on this device. So we'll allow Ledger Live to interface with the device and install the Litecoin app. There it goes. All right, and now it wants me to open the Litecoin app. And since there was no Litecoin on here before, it's just offering me to create an empty account. I'm going to say this is Alex's device so I don't get it confused. And then we can find it here. See, I have some Litecoin accounts on here already. His should probably, there it is, Litecoin Alex. Now that I have the account set up, ready to go, let's move some Litecoin from the Trezor to the ledger. So we just hit receive. Let's go ahead and do the hardware check. Confirm. There's the address on my device. There's the address on my computer. We'll copy it into the clipboard there. All right. And I can just leave this. Well, I'll go ahead and, well, I'll leave it just for now. Let's go back over here. Let me turn this off momentarily. Now we need the Trezor, right? Where was that? Should be on Trezor 1, I believe. All right, there's some Litecoin here. We'll hit Litecoin, and now we want to send the Litecoin to the address that I just copied into my clipboard. There it is. I can go back to Ledger Live and just double check that. Make sure it's the same address. Looks good to me. Always want to double check your work. Let's see, I'll send about $200 worth. That's about 3 Litecoin. Let's just make it a nice even 3 Litecoin. All right, and then we'll hit review and send. And we're going to need to authorize that on the device. So we'll go back over to this guy. And Kitty's back. He's rubbing my leg. All right, so we hit continue here. There's the amount, 3 Litecoin. We hit confirm. And then there's the summary. We hold and confirm. And off it goes. And then we go back over here. Not here, here. And we hit send. That's the broadcast step. So 3 Litecoin went out. Oh, James Wilds lives in Europe. I use Bitpanda and Swissborg Coinbase. I have not used in years, but I am shocked at how Binance US withdrawal fees. I like how you worked around those high fees. Thank you. That Litecoin has gone out. Let's look over in Ledger Live. And Kitty's back. Do you want to go outside? Well, Daddy's busy right now. I can't go outside. No, not right now. Okay. Yes, he's staring me down. All right, now we can go ahead and finish this hardware. We'll confirm that address on a hardware. All right, and that should be done. And then we should see that Litecoin come in shortly. Oh, Kitty. Now Kitty's messing with the mic boom and pushing the mic into my face. Yeah. Kitty. Okay. Oh, I just disconnected Alex's device, but that doesn't matter because now I don't know which is which. I think this one's mine. This one's all worn out. This one must be his. Low battery. Yeah, I think that's his. Okay. Let's do a sync here. Yeah, I just threw it down on the table and there was, okay, there's the Litecoin. That's cool. Let's go back over here. And you can see that the Litecoin has arrived. Pietro Lopez, thank you for that. I love subscribers, new subscribers. That's cool. Okay, so now we have managed to transfer Litecoin. Now, a lot of people say, how do I move crypto from one device to another? How can I move crypto out of my Trezor into my ledger, right? Or from my ledger to my Trezor or whatever. We're not really moving crypto from one device to another device. The crypto is out there on the blockchain. We've just simply moved from one wallet to another. And the wallet has several components, right? This is the outward facing component of the wallet, the Ledger Live interface. Here I can see the balance and I can manage the crypto, do sends and receives, but it has to be authorized by the device which holds the private key. So the Trezor was the same, right? When I wanted to move from Trezor Suite, I had to create a send, which required the device's authorization, right? So we sent the Litecoin from Trezor Suite to Ledger Live, but really we're just moving crypto from one address to another on the blockchain. That's all we were really doing, all right? The devices hold the private keys. They're the keys that unlock the functionality. Just in the same sense that I have a car in my driveway, but I can't use it unless I have my car key, right? It's basically useless. I can go look at the car, you know, and maybe wash it or wax it or whatever, but it's basically I can't move from point A to point B without that key. So the same with crypto in that sense, right? Cannot move crypto out of a wallet unless you have the key to unlock that transaction. So that's what we did. Now, I'm looking at my Ledger Live, and we're waiting for this to fully confirm on the blockchain. But if I look at all of my accounts, where is Alex's? Well, the only way I know is that it's going to be higher now. I've got Litecoin Alex over here, right? And I know that I cannot move this out unless I have Alex's device and not my own. Let's try. I'm pretty sure this is Alex's device. Let's double check. I'm going to connect it again. I'm going to enter the PIN. Yes, this is Alex's device because his PIN opened it. But if I were to try to check the balance and do a hardware check, or try to get a receiving address, it works just fine, right? Because I have the right device attached. Now I'm going to disconnect it, put it back in its box, and close this up. Now I'll get my device. I'll connect my device. Now that I have my device connected, let's try that same thing. I'll do that hardware check. It's going to ask me to open Litecoin. And it fails, right? Because I have the wrong device attached. That's how Ledger kind of keeps track of which accounts are a match to which device, right? Now, I wouldn't have known this unless I got this scary looking error message. So I don't think that's a really great way of managing two devices within Ledger Live. I like the Ledger, the Trezor Suite solution is much better, right? I know which devices have which accounts in them simply by looking at how they're connected here. I like that better. Now, I don't really need to see Alex's account here either. It kind of blends in with the rest of my holdings. So I would prefer to simply not show it anymore, right? I can right click on the account and choose edit and remove from, portfolio. And it's still, the wallet is still active on the device. The private key is still there. but it's just not in Ledger Live anymore, and you can't see it. I can always access it again by reconnecting the device and doing an add account. And this time, when I choose Litecoin, it'll just show me the Litecoin that's already there, right? It won't be like adding a brand new account. It'll just see the old account. It'll allow me to add a new one if I want to, but that's how your device holds the wallets. There's always, the device never forgets a wallet that you create. So that's fun. Right, so that's how wallets work. That's how hardware wallets work. I think someone, someone had asked me about the Ngrave, and they were wondering, well, how do I get assets onto the Ngrave, or how would I get assets onto the Trezor or onto the Ledger, which is perfectly fine to think about it that way. But to make a deposit, you don't really need the device. Well, if you're going to do best practice, it's always good to do the hardware check if you're doing a transfer. But for example, like this Ethereum address, I've had this address for years. I don't necessarily need to do the hardware check every time I need it. I can skip that by just saying I don't have my device and just grabbing the address. I don't need to have the device attached. The device could be sitting in a drawer somewhere, and I could transfer crypto into this wallet without needing the device, right? Why would the device need to be involved in a deposit, right? Who's going to refuse crypto coming in, right? So you don't need the device to deposit crypto unless you're doing the hardware check, which is always best practice, right? But technically, you don't need the device to make a deposit as long as you have the address, right? Kitty wants some Bitcoin. Yeah, Kitty. Speaking of Bitcoin, let's see. Did that Bitcoin come into my Tangem wallet yet? Yes. So there it is. $41.54 worth of Bitcoin, which if we'd have just simply withdrawn it from Binance US, we'd only had $35 worth of Bitcoin. So we managed to hold on to some of our Bitcoin there. But Tangem's a cool wallet. And I think, someone had said, what do I need the card to receive assets? No, I didn't have to pull out the card and do anything. All I needed was the address, which I copied out of that email, and I sent the Bitcoin, and voila, it's showing up in the app. Right? Now, I will need the card if I send Bitcoin out, right? If I try to send Bitcoin out of this wallet. So that's a lot of fun. I don't know. I'm kind of out of stuff to do. Let's see if there's anything. Metamask. Oh, we did the Metamask. I did a video on Metamask buy and sell. We did some of that last week. But if you want a full explanation of how to do buys and sell from within MetaMask using PayPal and MoonPay, I did a video on that. So I would invite you to check that video out if you're interested. Paste that in there, and you can check that one out. I did another stable diffusion AI generated image of myself. Let's see. It does justice to my kitty. Ugh. The cat just knocked over my key light over there on the side. Yeah. So these are the images that I was generating today. This is like the digital. Oh, this one's kind of funny. Yeah, kitty knocked over that light. This AI is kind of funny the way it generates images, because you'll notice notice anything weird about this image? Look at the hands. It's like bizarre the way the fingers are. It's like, is the hand tucked or are the fingers out? It's gonna, yeah. So I didn't use that one, but I don't know which. I went back and forth. Yeah, I was serious. There was the laughing, but I did laughing last semester. I did last week. I did the laugh, right? The wide open laugh. This week I just did a smile. All right. Well, I'm just killing time now, guys. I usually don't get. You think Caspa is a good hold for the? I don't do coin evaluations, unfortunately. I don't do coin predictions. Oh, I did want to bring up something that I found kind of interesting. I have Google generative AI. Google, when I do a Google search, I get generative. Bleh. I did a search for one of my videos on my phone, and I got like let's see if I can show it to you. I can't make it happen again, of course. Oops. Ugh. Well, now I can't get the generative. Oh, here it is. I can't make it happen again. So you're not going to believe me, but I had this generative AI telling about this video that I posted, and it made the AI made a comment that said CryptoDad is a trusted source in the cryptocurrency community. I was like, whoa, cool. Even the AI trusts me. And one of the reasons why I'm a trusted source in the crypto community is because I don't shill coins. I don't talk about, I mean, we'll talk about the Bitcoin market and stuff like that in the news, but I don't like make coin predictions. That's not what I'm about. I'm here to help crypto custody, crypto transfers, that kind of stuff. I don't do coin predictions. So I apologize, when you guys ask me about coins, I don't weigh in on that kind of stuff because, I don't know any more than the next guy. So, if I tell you, oh, yeah, this is a great coin, and you run by that coin, and then you lose a bunch of money, then you're not going to trust me anymore, right? Because I'm giving you bad advice. So that's why I don't do coin evaluations. Yeah. So anyway, I just thought that was kind of fun that the generative AI from Google said that I was a trusted source in crypto. If only YouTube would listen to them and push my videos more. But we won't go into that, right? So let's see. Anybody else got anything? Dan signing out. Same bad time, same bad channel. I really appreciate everybody being here tonight. I want to thank Dan and JDO. I didn't see any posts by JDO. He may be in here, he may not. But I like to thank both of them at the end of every live stream. Thank Asil and Emmanuel for their donations. I think when Emmanuel donated early, or I forgot to, I thought it was Asil. So I apologize if I called the name out wrong when I saw that donation come in. But thank you, Asil and Emmanuel. Thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. Thank you, Scott and Joanne and all the regulars and all the new people. I want to thank all of you. And let's see. We're going to wind it down now a little early tonight because I ran out of stuff to talk about and my throat kind of hurts. But once again, I will do this next week, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please join me again for the live stream from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. Hope to see you there. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click that will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Once again, thanks for joining me and hope to see you